Welcome to the Self-Care Queendom channel. I am Tamasa Makapinlak, the Self-Care Queen, known as well as the Shamanic Mentor. And one of the things I want to talk about today is the new moon in Virgo, which occurs today at 5:51 p.m. Pacific Daylight Time. So the new moon is in at Virgo at 14 degrees. That's when the sun and the moon are conjunct here. And as you can tell here, it is actually going to be trining. And it's going to be trining Uranus at about 10 degrees of Taurus. 14 degrees of Taurus. And so what exactly does that mean? So we know that Uranus is the planet of surprises. And sometimes we get kind of scared about Uranus because we don't know what Uranus has in store for us. But one thing I can always guarantee you that whatever Uranus has in store for us is for our highest good. It's like it's like God saying, stop everything, and I'm going to throw a monkey wrench in this so that we get you on the right track. So what you might know about Virgo is so busy into analyzing that it knows how to do things, how to structure things, but sometimes it gets so caught up in its head that it doesn't tune in to the soul. And so this is what Uranus will do for us. And Uranus is in retrograde, by the way, at about 14 degrees of Taurus. So they are making the perfect trine. So it will be very fun and interesting to see what occurs for you at around 5:51 Pacific Daylight Time this evening. And it's not just that specific time, but what's to come for the next 28 days, because that's what a new moon cycle is about. So what you should know is that it is a great time to set new intentions. And I want to emphasize that because Pluto, which is in about 24 degrees of Capricorn, is actually sextiling Neptune in its home sign of Pisces at about 22 or 23 degrees. So I would say that's a tight enough degrees where it is considered a sextile. I like things to be tight, like 2-3 degrees. And so one thing, we know is that this has been happening for a while now. Both of them are in retrograde. So you might be thinking of your dreams, but also while you are having your dreams come forth, Pluto is making sure that all the shadow pieces are removed or transform, I should say is a better word, are transformed so that your dreams can come true. So you might think that, gee, it's taking a long time because Pluto and Neptune, they move very slow. But think about if you ever jumped into something so quickly and it might not be the right timing or the right fit. Let's say for like a relationship, you don't just date somebody and then automatically marry them. What you want to do is you want to get to know them. And that's what I like to describe as happening between this Neptune and Pluto. It's sort of like, this dream seems great, but let's start removing all the obstacles out of the way that get in the way of you manifesting your highest desires. And so that's what's been happening with Pluto and Neptune, probably for the last, I want to say 4 or 5 months, because it seems like every new moon I bring that up. But what's so juicy about this new moon is I want you to look at the relationship between Jupiter, which is in retrograde at about 25 degrees of Aquarius, which, by the way, Aquarius is about serving the collective. And you've got Venus. She is sitting at about 26 degrees of Libra. So, these two signs here are all about how can we support each other in bringing in fortune and good luck to us. And so, in this, what we see is the support as Venus is in Libra, and Libra is all about partnership, and that is her home sign. And Jupiter is serving the collective. So, how can you be in partnership to serve the collective? So, you might see some collaborative efforts popping up soon here for you. There might be some opportunities to collaborate. And this is the perfect time to do it. But we have to go inside with Jupiter because that retrograde is all about going inside and like, is this the perfect opportunity for me or not? Is this the right divine opportunity? Because Jupiter, by the way, is also the planet that is directly connected to spirit or God or whatever you want to call it, the universe. And so it's about growing and expanding from your community, since that's what Aquarius is all about. And maybe finding that collaborative partner or that partnership that works. And so this partnership, because it's sitting in the eighth house, is about how deep can you go, intimate partnership. Now, it's not necessarily, sexually intimacy, but deep, dark, inside. And so intimacy is so much more than sexuality, but it's so much more about how can we have such deep conversations and talk about some of the most deepest things. You might find yourself in a place where you're bored and you don't want to be around people that you have surface conversations with, but you're going to have deep conversations with. And so I want to point this out that Mercury is sitting in Libra, by the way. So this is about being in communication, in partnership. And it is sitting at about 11 degrees of Libra. And I want to point out that it is also trining Saturn in Aquarius. So this is communications that are going to help shape things for the long run. And the communications might buckle up, or they might not be so smooth. They might be bumpy, because whenever Saturn's involved, Saturn wants to remove the obstacles, and Saturn will put up obstacles to make sure that everything is covered, that the obstacles are moved out of the way properly. And so, this is a great new moon for bringing in prosperity, for bringing in wonderful partnerships to support you with your work, because Virgo is about the work, by the way. And notice that it is sitting in the seventh house in this chart here, as we have the ascendant of Aquarius. So whatever we do might be unique and different, because Aquarius is unique and different, and the partnership can be even unique and different, as we see that Jupiter is trining Venus and Libra. So that is about it. And so I want to invite you. I have a new moon, Virgo new moon despacho coming up this evening, believe it or not, right at the new moon time. It starts at 5:45 p.m. It's not too late to sign up. It is $65 and it is well worth the investment. I have heard from so many people, so many examples. Even I have benefited from it, but I don't even like to tell you what I've benefited from, because I think, what speaks mountains is the people who have participated, and they're not even facilitating the ceremony. They're just participating, and they're following what I share with them, how to really call in your deepest desires. So I've heard from someone recently that they have received, an increase in annual income of $10,000 with a promotion that they didn't even qualify for. So that is a miracle in itself. So those are the kinds of things that happen for the people who participate in my new moon despachos. And what is a despacho? It's a prayer bundle. It's a prayer bundle that is borrowed from the traditions of the Inca shamanism. So I've been doing this work for over a decade, and I can't begin to even tell you how transformative it is. And so I want to invite you to click on the link that is in the description, and it's on Eventbrite. It's online, by the way, so you don't have to do anything but show up and be ready with, maybe 5 to 6 major goals or intentions. I don't even like calling them goals, but intentions, things that you want to call in for yourself. And I want to recommend that it's something big that you want, because those are the things that we need the support around usually. And we need it around the divine timing and the divine action. And that's what this is about, the divine action as we have this new moon in Virgo, the how being trined with Uranus and Taurus. So that means we're bringing it into the physical world. So, we don't quite have a grand trine going on here, but we do have what we call, a couple trines and sextiles that are supporting us. So in many different ways to call in our goals and the how, because sometimes we don't know how to make it happen because it's so big for us. So happy new moon in Virgo. Thank you. And by the way, my websites are back up and running, and we're slowly but surely getting everything moving. So www.selfcarequeendom.com. And if you wish to know more about my upcoming medicine wheel, Sacred Sovereignty, just reach out to me and I will respond. Thank you. Namaste. Have a beautiful, beautiful rest of the day.